So you could use the face mask as a screen of a computer, and then the helmet would be the the base of the computer monitor. But everything was going flat screen towards the flat screen market. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. Dying breed there. But I was still fascinated on how you could tie in the billion-dollar sporting industry with the billion-dollar computer industry. Since at that time, 5-6 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of electronics and sports tied in together. And started working on it part-time, developing the product, and lo and behold, the little mini football helmet computer mouse came about.
And how would you have created a monitor with a helmet though? That would have been one of the most interesting concepts because they're so big, they're so wide, and with a face mask, how would you be able to see the monitor so clearly?
Well, it wouldn't have been, the face mask portion would have just been like a clear, just a screen. If you think about old computer monitors,
yeah,
they were pretty big and bulky. So you could have actually incorporated a football helmet into your computer monitor on the desk. You wouldn't so much have a face mask as just the bubbled out computer monitor would be like a smoke screen face mask.
It's kind of go old leather.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
And now, as you can see, you got all these collegiate MySports mouses out there right now. Was it easy transition getting in contact with the NCAA to get the license agreement to be able to put the products out?
It's easy to get in contact with them, but it's another process to get through and actually get the licensing. They've actually cut back on the amount of licenses that they give anymore. So it's a bit of a process. You have to have kind of a unique product that's not already out there for them to give licensing to you. So it was a process to go through. It took us probably about a year to get through the whole process of licensing with the NCAA. And then most of the colleges are actually licensed by a corporation called the CLC, Collegiate Licensing Corporation, or the LRG, which is Licensing Resource Group. There's a few independents out there like USC and such that you can approach, but the first step is to get licensed, get approved by these organizations. And then from there, you then go to the university and get approved by the university directly after you're approved by those organizations for the most part.
So the process is pretty lengthy. So where you guys are at now with how many collegiate helmets you have, is your goal to get all the collegiate, all Division I schools and be able to distribute them?
Yeah, I think Division I primarily, it becomes a sort of an inventory nightmare to get all the universities. So definitely go in with the top universities and top conferences, and try and get every school in that conference for sure, and market them that way.
Sean DuCross here with Tristan DuCross here over at mysportsmouse.com with Donny Valentine. Being in Escondido area, you've got USD, SDSU, USC. I mean, you got all the big schools here. You see that you got the Aztecs, and you see that you also have had the USC Trojans. Are you going to eventually approach USD Toreros as well and try to bring in all the Southern California schools underneath My Sports Mouse, being able to distribute them to basically all of Southern California?
That's certainly one of our plans, but probably the short-term plan would be more to continue with the like the SEC, the Pac-10, Big 12, and cover those first, and then go after the other divisions. And of course, the Major League Sports is one of our main focuses right now, is to get the NFL licensing wrapped up, as well as Major League Baseball and NBA, and wrap up those licenses before really expanding a whole lot more into the collegiate market.
Well, how's that going right now with the NFL licensing, Major League Baseball, and the NHL? Where do you guys stand with those guys currently?
Well, we currently have our applications in, and we're just in the negotiation process. Mainly with the NFL is our first one that we're wanting to negotiate with. And we should have that figured out and finished up in the next couple of months.
Any idea how many teams you are going to start off with the NFL?
NFL will be all of them.
So we get a charger at mysportsmouse.com.
Yes.
And a lot of people are going to be stoked about that one.
Absolutely.
And then you also mentioned the NBA. How far along is that one?
NBA is just in its infancy. Our whole plan is to roll out. We're in meetings right now at Best Buy, Fry's Electronics. So we're hoping to be able to roll out the product in the fall season for the beginning of next year's 2011 football season for NFL and college, of course, that we already have. But then we'll have the ribbons in those stores, and to hold those ribbons throughout the year, we want to be able to roll into NBA in the fall of 2011, and then Major League Baseball spring of 2012. So our main goal is to finish up the NFL licensing, and then we'll work on the NBA and then the Major League Baseball after that.
So are you going to end up starting like a chain reaction type of thing where you land the NFL, then it starts trickling down with everybody else? Or are you going to, okay, I got the NFL, I'm going to focus on the NFL, get that all situated, then go to the NBA, then go to the Major League Baseball? Or is it just now one of those things that it's all rolling into place?
It's all going to roll into place. All, like I said, the NFL will be wrapped up here, then we'll go into the NBA and Major League Baseball.
And we did hear about, of course, the prototype for an NHL helmet. We saw one the last time we were here with the Montreal Canadiens. How's that coming along?
That is, it's ready to go. It's just a matter of where we want to invest our dollars right now. Since we are a new company, we've got to be careful on our budgets. And for us, for U.S. stores, your main sports are going to be football
And baseball.
So those are our two main focuses, and basketball will probably be a third. Hockey in the U.S. is, while it's a great sport, you're limited to your market.
Yeah.
So that will would be our fourth product line coming out.
Okay. What made you end up doing a prototype of the Montreal Canadiens or the goalie mask itself?
Again, trying to come out with something unique that works for the hand, fits comfortably, is ergonomic. A hockey puck is sort of plain.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think of something that that would be unique and catch people's eye and be just a cool sports product.
The DuCross Brothers here with Donny Valentine of MySportsMouse.com. You talk about the way that the mouses are structured. That is one thing we have noticed with the LSU mouse that we also have, is the fact that your hand doesn't rest so flat. Your hand rests up. So having issues along the wrist,
with like carpal tunnel and stuff like that, it kind of relieves the pressure.
So it's been an interesting concept to see that a mouse is out there now to help out with like carpal tunnel and other hand issues that you may occur over a span of time.
Yeah.
How did you sit down and think of coming up with such a structure that emphasizes or kind of the protection of an injury like that?
Well, computer mice have been one of the main associations with carpal tunnel, in the beginning. It sort of trickled down to other industries after that, but I think the computer mouse was one of the first sort of products that were associated with carpal tunnel. And so it was definitely a concern of ours that we had to, make sure that we were aware of this and incorporate it into our design. We couldn't have it too big, couldn't have it too small. So that was all in the design of the size of the product.
How many designs do you think you've gone through to the point where you're at now?
We've gone through 3 different tooling revisions.
Any more to come?
Possibly, as helmets change, and we want to, because our whole goal is to make the product authentic. We want it to look as authentic as possible and still be able to be functional as a computer mouse.
So then could we eventually see, what is it, a shut DNA helmet?
The revolution.
or the Darth Vader mask?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So, and you see all this stuff that has happened. What's the goal next for MySportsMouse.com?
Our next goal is to be in at least 3 major retail outlets this year.
Which would be?
Would be Best Buy, Staples, and Target.
And all 3 would be really good to have. DuCross Brothers here, and on the Escondido location with MySportsMouse.com, Donny Valentine. Donny, also with all the helmets and stuff, you also can you offer to all the consumers and stuff like that is being able to customize your own mouse.
Absolutely.
You know, adding your own logos. Now, is that something that you'll also be able to go out there and kind of, in Best Buy and Staples and stuff like that, kind of promote that too? So when people come in, they go, oh, they see a mouse and there's something that they can get right there, so they can customize helmets, or would it be like strictly online?
That'll probably be through online product. I don't know that Best Buy would promote or allow us to promote something like that. If they would, we certainly would. But promotional product companies we'll be going after to promote that end of the business. It's definitely one of the more unique promotional products out there. There's nothing out there like it. So we're having some pretty good success with that. Like you saw with the KUSI helmet there. We've done one for a pretty large insurance company, which is the Jackson Insurance Company logo. It's a European company. And we'll just keep growing that into the business as well.
Would you like to? Can you say that one of your favorite things is being able to do is to customize helmets?
Absolutely, it's a fun product. One of the things we're going after, I think we've got a series of blank helmets, and what we're toying with being able to do. Since our manufacturing process, there's a minimum quantity to order, and it's hard for like high schools to get involved and be able to come up with the funds to have a product like this and be able to allow the high school to sell their own helmets and make a little money for the school. So our goal is to be able to custom imprint these in-house so that we can lower our minimum quantities. We'll order some blank helmets that are ready to be custom painted and put together for smaller entities to allow us to go down on our numbers.
What about like creating like your own little packaging with like little variations of face, different colors of face masks or decals inside of a box and sell like maybe not necessarily as a toy, but something like, hey, you know what? Here's a couple cool little decals in this one, and you guys can create your own helmets that way. Another customizable feature. Something you thought about?
That's a great idea. It's definitely a possibility to have a blank helmet that people can customize themselves.
And what about, you talked about too about high schools.
Mm-hmm.
Is high schools, the CIF, something you want to dabble into as well? Get school helmets also?
Yes, we're taking a look at that right now. We've got a guy that's going out and doing some market research and talking to some of the local high schools in San Diego area. So and Pop Warner as well. So if we can do something with Pop Warner and be a sort of a fundraising source for entities like that, it'd be a great thing to be able to help schools and keep sports in our schools and be a part of that.
One of the things that have the DuCross Brothers here with Donny Valentine of MySportsMouse.com, you also did you happen to attend the CES convention over the week as well?
Yeah, I was out at CES last week.
Did you take anything away from that you can probably put into your My Sports Mouse product?
I don't know that I took anything away that I could put into the product at this point. My thinking to go out there was to find any new products to add to our line, or find any new technology that was out there that we might be able to add to the mouse itself. I didn't see anything major as far as new innovative advances in mouse technology to put into our mouse, but there were some new products that I think we'll add some logos to and have some cool things for people to buy.
What do you want to bring to MySportsMouse.com?
We'll be looking at adding on, for the near future, we'll be adding mouse pads, flash drives that are all logoed. One of the things, it'll be a flash drive that'll be a little football helmet with a little USB sticking out of the end, so people can have their memory flash drives with their football helmet.
Every sports guy's fantasy.
Yeah.
To be able to carry around something that has to do with sports, whether it's a football, baseball, hockey helmet, whatever it may be, just every guy's sports dream to have something sports related, be able to carry around with them.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look, I got a flash drive. Here you go. It's a football.
Mm-hmm.
What about a My Sports keyboard?
There's a company out there that does keyboards, and are licensed, and their graphics are the colors and logos of the universities, and I believe NFL. I'm not sure. So it's a market that we could get into, because that's not a patented process. So it's something we could add to our line for sure.
Anything else, Sean?
Nah, I think that's about it. I mean, dabbling into a product like this is one of the rare things. So when you get a chance to see a mouse being sports related, it's one of those things that it's like, why not? You know, it's one of those products that it's untapped.
Yeah.
And a lot of people use computers, so it's like everybody loves college football. It's the biggest sport out there. There's nothing bigger than a collegiate football game. When you talk about, well, what football game are you going to watch the most? 9 times out of 10, you're going to say you're going to watch a collegiate football game if it's on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody loves the NFL, but when you're looking at it, what do most kids and your audience that you're going to cater towards, what are they going to look for? They're going to look for something that they watch the most.
Just look at the sheer numbers that college football draws.
Yep.
Stadiums that hold 110,000 fans every single week. The NFL doesn't draw 110,000 fans to an NFL stadium every week.
No.
Some will be lucky to get 40,000 people to show up.
Yeah, considering that, what is it, the NHL this past week, on the Winter Classic, sold out the Pittsburgh Steelers stadium
Of
of
70,000
70,000 fans, and the Steelers couldn't even do that.
Wow.
So it goes to show that where the NFL sits compared to like the collegiate rankings and even an outdoor classic game. NFL struggles with the attendance a little bit more than the collegiate, the NHL, and the MLB. I mean, MLB sells out almost every game. It's incredible.
Unless you're in Florida.
That's true too. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. We're here. The DuCross Brothers are here with Donny Valentine of MySportsMouse.com. Thank you very much for your time.
Sean, Tristan, thank you for coming and being a part of this.
You're welcome, man.
Appreciate it.